What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me tonight, late night, and she is rocking with me from Toronto. She is a freelance sports, I should say, creative in the industry that takes photography photos at certain events. But she is also a sports intern recently up RTK, if I'm not mistaken, if I said that right. And she's going to explain what she is doing for that organization. Her name is So Kim, and I'm delighted to have So on my podcast and not only talk about her why of getting into sports and photography, but also ask her some get to know you questions. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the talented, the passionate, and the beautiful. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. First of all, that was such a lovely introduction. I love that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well deserved. Listen, anybody that follows your social media, they knows I'm not just, saying this stuff. They know that you're very talented. There's no question about
Thank
that.
you.
You're very welcome. And listen, my first question to you, is the
Yes.
same question that I always have with everybody that cops on this podcast, and that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into sports and photography?
Oh, that is a big question. It's kind of funny that you asked because I am still very new to the industry. So I
Mhm.
picked up a camera for the first time June of 2024. So I actually never had any camera photography other than like I guess like iPhone. Um, photo
Sure.
taking, never had camera experience. And the first time I picked it up, I just fell in love with it. And it was sometime during kind of late that year, I saw a TikTok by this photographer, McKenna Megson. She worked, I think now she's actually going into freelance herself, but at the time when I saw her TikTok, it was a day in the life. She was a photographer for the Colorado Avalanches. And I
Yeah.
kind of in the background, to give you a little bit of more context, I played soccer growing up. I played at the collegiate level, also ran track. So sports has been a big part of my life. And I, at the time, didn't really know that there were kind of positions like this where you could be creative and be in sports. And so
Sure.
when I saw this TikTok, I was like, oh my God, like I had this like gut feeling of like, this is what
Mhm.
I need to do. And so
Right.
at the time, I was working at a private school. I was in admissions. So I was there for around 3 years. I graduated in 21. I studied psych and education. And basically, kind of in that late second half of 2024, I decided to go back to school for a 1 year
Yeah.
program at George Brown College for sport and event marketing,
Okay.
and just really dove into it. And so I, at that time, just really wanted to get as much experience as I could. I just really love the energy of sports and just the community it builds, and especially I've just gotten a lot of experience covering women's sports. And so for me, I'm very passionate about women's sports and the way that it's
Yeah.
growing, especially soccer in Canada. And so I just love being surrounded by that energy, being surrounded by that growth. And I want to kind of show that to people and really document kind of that growth in women's sports. And I would say that is my biggest why. Especially as someone who was an athlete myself, I think sharing stories like that is so, so important. And especially as I continue in kind of my journey, that is something that I really want to continue to do. And so, yeah, I am still very much learning. I'm still very much trying to continue getting my foot into the door, continue getting my experience in the industry, but I love it and I love the hustle and I just love being creative. And so I would say that is my biggest why for sure.
That's an amazing why. So it really is. And that's an amazing answer. And it's like, wow, I'm blushing right now, but you can't tell because of my pigmentation. But I'm blushing right now so much because I love your answer. I really do. And it's
Thank
so
you.
refreshing to hear
Yeah,
someone who is passionate about sports and not just because you are a former collegiate athlete, but the fact that you care about it, the fact that you want to illustrate it and storytell in different ways, right? Because being a creative, you're storytelling and really shining a light on women's sports,
yeah,
which need to have a light shine on them because
absolutely.
women's sports are amazing, right? You're
Yes.
in a great city of Toronto. Obviously, with the WNBA, the tempo is
Yep.
coming there, which is something that I'm hoping and scratching and crowing, and I'm trying to get somebody in the communication office to try to give me some doggone credentials because I definitely want to be able to come out there to Toronto. It's one of my favorite cities, so I
Yeah,
definitely want to come out there for sure. But
absolutely.
I also definitely was I know it's Toronto FC, which is the men's
Yes.
team out
Yeah,
there for soccer, but I am intrigued to cover the Toronto's women's team. I've never seen the Toronto's women's soccer team before, and I'm
yeah,
intrigued to
yeah.
be able to
No,
cover a game or two.
you definitely have to. I think especially with season two starting, and last year I was able to cover them often, and I even had
Hmm.
the opportunity to even join the Northern Super League's photography team to cover its inaugural finals, and that was something that was so it was honestly, I have no words to explain it. It was something that was just so like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And especially
Sure.
as a former soccer player as well, just seeing that happen live and being
Hmm.
able to even capture it um, was just so mind blowing. And just seeing all the teams as well, and then this year I was able to join their media day, which was super exciting too. So just even being able to kind of be a part of that growth has been really amazing. But yeah, no, definitely come and photograph some of the AFC Toronto games because they are quite amazing to watch, and they did really well last
Hmm.
year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, so you definitely gonna have to hook me up with maybe a communication department person if you know them
hopefully.
for sure. For sure. Whoever talked to you, please let me talk to them and I would definitely see what I
I
can
got
do for
you.
sure. I appreciate that. Now, you talked about playing soccer and track. What
Yes.
position did you play in soccer and what events did you do in track?
Yeah, so I was a midfield and forward in soccer. And then for
Hmm.
track, I ran middle distance. So like 400, 800, sometimes the 15, but the 400 and 800 were
Hmm.
like my main events. Yeah. So
Look at you.
so I went to Bates College. It's
Hmm.
located in Maine,
Yeah.
NESCAC D3 school. I was recruited to play soccer, and then I walked on the track team because I like ran track in high school and I wanted to continue to do it. So
Yeah.
it was a really great experience. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of that, because yeah, you did go to Bates, and I
Yes.
believe you went to a place prior to Bates. High school was Taft. Was it
Yes.
Taft High School?
Yeah. The TAF
Yeah,
school. Yeah.
right. The Taft School, right? So Bates is in, like you said, Lewiston, Maine.
Yes.
First off, two-part question here. Number one, was that your number one school that you wanted to go to? And if so, why? If not, if there was other schools, what other schools could have persuaded you?
Well, at the time, I think so. The way that it happened, I guess. So I went to like a Canadian public school. It was called Bill Crothers. It was a sports high school for grade
Yeah.
9 and 10. And at the
Hmm.
time, I had a teammate who was going through the process of going through a prep school in the States because her brother did that for football. And so her family was like, you should do it too, which is how I ended up at the Taft School for grade 11 and 12 for junior and senior year of high school.
Oh,
And
got you.
so during that time, I I don't know. I didn't really necessarily, I don't think, had sights of what schools I necessarily wanted to go to. Um,
Right.
the Taft School is a mix of like very good academics and like very good athletics. And so the head coach of the soccer team at the time, he went to Amherst to play lacrosse
Mm.
and soccer as well. So he was a dual athlete. And then the assistant coach at the time went to Colby College, and played both soccer and lacrosse. So they went to kind of that NESCAC schools. And so when we were kind of going through together kind of that recruiting process for college, he basically told me, he was like, if you want a good mix of like academics, a good mix of athletics, but also kind of that small school environment, he told
Yeah.
me that the next schools were the schools to look at to have like
Okay.
again good academics and good athletics. And so I was like, you know what, I really enjoyed my time at Taft. It was honestly really life changing for me in the way that, I was away from home for the first time. I really loved having kind of smaller class sizes, a smaller community.
Hmm.
um, and so I basically looked at all the schools in the NESCAC, and I just really fell in love with Bates right when I stepped on campus. I was like, this is it. Like, I feel like it's so cliche when you say that, but it really was true. Like, I loved it, and I enjoyed
Sure.
all my 4 years at Bates. Well, I guess excluding the COVID years, but that's okay.
For
It happens,
sure.
I
For
guess.
sure. Right. Right. Um. Now you said you picked up a camera in 2024. I would love to
Yes.
know, like you went to school. What was and you graduated with a psychology degree, if I'm not mistaken. So what was your mindset of what did you want to pursue in school first before you kind of went into the sports creative realm of it?
Yeah, so funny enough, I
Mhm.
studied psychology to be a sports psychologist. So I think in the back of my head, I always knew that I
Oh,
wanted to be in the sports industry. I just think at the time I didn't know what that looked like for me. But
sure.
like I said, I intended to be a sports psychologist. I took like a med psych class, and I absolutely hated it. I could not do it. So I was like, okay, I just don't think the sciences or whatever is my thing. But I really actually
Right.
enjoyed studying psych itself. Like I love like the positive psychology, the social psychology, more of I guess
Sure.
the environmental more of things. And so I
Mhm.
just kept studying psych because I really liked it. And then I picked up a minor in education because I like for a couple internships, I like worked at summer camps. One of them I worked at Camp Aquila, which was like a summer camp more so geared towards uh, kids who had autism. And so I picked
Okay.
up a minor in education thinking that I was gonna do something in special education. And so, but that didn't really work out. I then graduated not necessarily knowing what I wanted to do, not really having kind of a direct path. I didn't have a job lined up. And I think this is like, if there are people who are graduating school right now, I think this is very, very normal. You graduate not really. I mean, sometimes you do know what you want to do, and honestly, that is awesome. But I think
Mhm.
most people don't necessarily know what they want to do at the time, and so
Right. Right.
once I graduated, I came back home. I was just job searching, and it just so happened at the time that I received an offer for an admissions role at a private school in Toronto. And I did a couple internships in admissions actually for Bates, which was why I applied to kind of admissions role, thinking that, okay, I studied education. I might really kind of enjoy the school life. And so I did that for 3 years. I did a little bit of social media with the role as well. But I think I just always knew I was a little bit more creative because it started off with, I don't know if you've also done this, but I
Mhm.
started a fitness Instagram right after I graduated. So I had like my own little fitness Instagram where I would just like create fitness videos, reels, that kind of thing, photos.
Sure.
Then
Sure.
I then created a book Instagram too.
Oh,
So I
wow.
did kind of I think that was like my creative outlet at the time when I was just working a I guess a more corporate 9 to 5 job. But
For
I
sure.
really enjoyed kind of that creative side of things. It was a very different type of creativity, but I really, really enjoyed it. So when I was still working my admissions job, I knew I wanted to do something creative. I just didn't really necessarily know what that looked like for me
Mhm.
until I saw the TikTok video. That was when I saw it.
Oh,
It was
okay.
June 2024. I saw that TikTok, the day of my life with McKenna Mexon, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like that was the moment where I was like, I need to do this. And so that's when I
I
picked up a
love
camera.
it.
I literally had my dad's old DSLR camera that he used when he was like filming me playing soccer to create like film tapes to send off to colleges and whatever.
Right.
It was like what was it? A Rebel T5, a Canon Rebel T5.
Ooh,
That's I use that.
that's old school right there.
No, it's definitely old school.
Yes.
It's funny because I
Yes.
think a lot of people who start off like at least with Canon, like it's all Rebel T5s,
Hmm.
that kind of line.
It
So I used
is.
that basically for all of 2024. And then because I think I was just getting all my reps in, like I literally the first thing I did was I went to a boxing, it was like some boxing event. That was the first thing that I
Okay.
went to. I paid for a ticket. I brought my camera with me. And the original plan was to just take photos from my seat, but at the time I didn't have like a long enough zoom. So I was
Mhm.
using just one of those like point and shoots at the time too. So I ended up just kind of like sneaking into kind of the rink side. I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, they just kick me out. They never ended up kicking me out. So I just like so I was just at the rink side just taking photos, which was great. So that was my first event. And then after that, I literally reached out to all the Canadian schools, and the only school that ended up actually responding to me was York University.
Wow.
So yeah, so York University was the only school that actually ended up responding to me, and they gave me a media pass for the season. And that was kind of like my first, I guess, not role, but my first kind of big experience.
Introduction.
Exactly, of shooting sports, shooting
Right.
athletics.
Right.
And that's kind of how that started. And then I quit my job at the end of 2024 to go back to school at January 2025. So this past
Okay.
year it was just full-time program for a year just to kind
Hmm.
of help me get my foot into the door because at the time when I was looking for jobs, I was applying but wasn't getting anything because I didn't have the actual experience.
Right.
And so my head was like, okay, let me try and find an internship. A lot of internships were saying that you had to be a student. And so I was like, that's what I have to do. I have to go back to school. And so it was great that George Brown offered a post grad 1 year sport and event marketing program,
Yeah.
which it really did help me get my foot into the door. And since then, I've basically just during this past year just kind of went all in. Um, I don't even know where to start. Once I continued with York University, I then messaged a baseball team. They're the Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball Club. Um, I
Yeah.
did, I did that with them. And I'm saying I'm their photographer again this season, which I'm really excited about. But they were like my first team that I worked for. And then the biggest trajectory with my career was getting my first photography internship, and that was with Hayes Media or Hayes Sports.
Okay.
So
Okay.
with them, that was when I was really able to get my foot into the door with professional sports because I was then able to actually apply for media accreditation. So,
Absolutely.
and especially with them, that was really where I kind of saw my growth in my photography. And just because I was also just getting all those reps in, it just kind of kept building. And then while sticking with them, I also then did another internship with the Mississauga Chargers. They are a junior A hockey team. And
Hmm.
so with them, I did photography, media, or videography, and then social media. So I did all three with them. Um, and now I'm doing another internship with FTF Canada, but more so on the social media side of things, because especially now, yes, photography and videography is something that I'm really focusing on, but especially with the sports industry. And I don't know if you necessarily feel this way, but I find
Hmm.
that a lot of the times, at least for me, it feels like you don't necessarily need to be a master at everything, but just
Right.
be a jack of all trades.
For
So I
sure.
started off with photography and then am slowly learning videography right now.
Hmm.
And then now getting into kind of more of the social media side of things too. So that's
Oh, for
kind of like
sure.
where I'm at right now. So this past year was
The,
honestly a very just a whirlwind of just doing a lot of different things, putting myself out there, sending literally every single email to every single team that I could find to just get my experience, build my portfolio, and get my foot into the door. And because of that, my work was getting noticed. I was getting contacted to do like, the finals for the NSL, which was again super exciting, and then doing the media day with them again this year. I was able to go to the AHL All-Star Classic with Hayes Media this year. So it's just a lot of different things. And then going to like bigger matches like the Canadian Championships too for the CPL and the MLS. So just doing all those different things and just being able to see myself last year where I was just kind of still learning to being like throughout
Hmm.
last year getting my professional experience, getting my professional sports in, and being able to do
Sure.
bigger events. So that's it's been really really awesome, and I truly did not expect to see myself kind of grow that fast, but I think as someone who, when you put your mind in something, I think that's kind of, and you do have a passion for it. I think it really shows and it really drives kind of the work that you do.
No question. No
So,
question.
but I'm definitely still learning. Like I don't consider myself like a pro at all. Definitely know I still have a long way to go and a long way to learn.
Hmm.
Um, but I, again, like this past year was honestly just so life-changing for me.
Hmm.
And I'm excited to kind of continue that momentum into this year. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love it. I really do. And it's a terrific, terrific answer. So it really is. And um the whole thing about this is that when you are getting, these credits or you're getting these experiences, everybody
Yeah.
wants to build a portfolio. And I
Yeah.
know I definitely wanted to build a portfolio. I try to tell all college kids, definitely build a
Yeah.
portfolio. If you want to be a broadcast in front of the TV, build a reel. If you want to be, as far as a portfolio photographer or reporter, in my sense, yeah, build a portfolio. Try to do that. But I
Mhm.
also tell people go to sport career fairs, go to
Yes.
conferences,
Yes.
because this is the one of the main things that you can do is network in this industry. And
Yes.
yes, sometimes these sports career conferences cost a little money. I get that. And money is, I totally get that. But some of these sports career conferences can really elevate you, because I got my first internship by going. I told you I went to school in Atlanta. I went to the Atlanta Falcons career fair. Got my first sports internship there. I went to the NFL Combine and passed out business cards and was able to get to the Super Bowl. Able to cover some stuff with that. Um, if you go to certain places and you be able to pass out business cards and be able to link up with people. Oh my goodness, we disconnected. I'm sorry. Did you hear anything I said?
No, you're so good. I was like, oh.
I'm like, oh man, I'm talking to a black screen. Your face like froze, and then all of a sudden I was like, what is going on? But I wanted to basically tell you that I love your answer. I love what you're saying, and I wanted to get to the next question, which was ask you some
Yeah.
favorite questions, okay? And you just give me
Okay.
the
Amazing.
411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions, okay? So here we go.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
Honestly, pizza. I love just like making my own pizza and just assembling it. I don't make my own dough. I will buy the dough and I just buy the ingredients. I don't make anything like handmade, but the actual like making the pizza itself
Hmm.
is good. And complement that with a Caesar salad.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Nice and
Yeah.
healthy too. I'm a huge. I like making my own pizza too, but I'm such a carnivore. So I gotta have the pepperoni. I gotta have the chicken. I gotta have well, mainly pepperoni and chicken, but sausage too on there as well. But I love just the meat lovers homemade pizza.
Yes.
That's what I love for
Yeah.
sure.
Do you like
Okay.
pineapple though on your pizza?
No, no pineapple on the pizza. Hell no. So
See,
I'm not.
sorry, I kind of like pineapple on my pizza, so.
Well, see, you know what? That would be a perfect like get together, you and I, because that means we will each have our own pizzas to be able to eat, and we
That
wouldn't
is
have to worry.
true.
We wouldn't have to worry about the differences of our pizzas. Like I'm meat lovers, you're probably meat lovers with a little bit of pineapple on it. Now, I do like pineapple. I do like pineapple, by the way. I just don't like it on the pizza. That's all. That's
Fair
all.
enough, though. Fair
So that's it.
enough.
Okay, okay. I'm with you on that. Now, favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
is it
You lose
me?
so?
Is it me? Is it my end?
No, no, no. It's me. It's me.
Okay.
That's what it is. I'm so
No,
sorry. So sorry
no, it's
about
okay.
that.
I just want to double check, just because like my Wi-Fi has also been kind of like spotty lately, so I just wanted to double check.
No, no, no. It's totally me. And listen, we're good. We are all fine. I hope you heard my next question. But if you didn't, I'm gonna
I
repeat
did.
it. I'm gonna say favorite concert you ever attended.
Ooh, well, the first one that pops up is okay. Well, to be fair, I don't even know if I'm actually pronouncing his name right, but it's Quinn XCII. I don't know if he actually just like says the number, but do you know the
Hmm.
artist? I hope so. But I went to go see him in Wisconsin with my partner,
Okay.
and that was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to because he is one of my favorite artists. So, and I don't really honestly go to a lot of concerts. I only go to the ones that I actually like if I really like the singer. So right now the next one lined up is why am I forgetting his name? One sec, let me look him up.
No, you're
The
good.
next, the next one I have lined up, Alex Warren. So that's the
Alex
next one.
Warren is good. That's a
I'm
good one.
so excited. Like, I am so excited. I'm really sad about Bruno Mars though, that I can't go see Bruno Mars. I just like missed out on the tickets and like right now they're so expensive and I'm like, oh, it's not worth it. But I'm so sad I missed out on that though, because he's like one of my childhood favorite singers. And I was like, if he goes on tour again, I was like, he is the one I want to go to. But it's okay. Maybe on the
I
day
feel it.
there'll be cheaper tickets.
I feel it because when I looked up those tickets for Bruno Mars, first of all, he's not coming here to Buffalo or Rochester, so he's only coming to Toronto. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But then when I looked up those tickets, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, nah, I can't do those prices. And then but there are a couple of concerts there that I definitely am interested in going to because the artist is not coming here to upstate New York. One is J. Cole. I'm a huge J. Cole fan.
Love him.
I love J. Cole. And then I also love Shabuzi. Shabuzi's one of my favorites.
Oh,
Uh, and he's coming to, I believe you guys have an amphitheater called the RBC out there, the RBC
yeah.
Amphitheater.
Yes, I've actually
Um,
never been, but I
okay.
know what you're
Oh,
talking about. Yes.
you know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool, cool. And then J. Cole's coming to Scotia Bank, which is where the Maple
Yeah.
Leaves and the Raptors play at. So his tickets are not bad at all. His tickets were like 80 some dollars. And I was like, okay, that's
Oh,
pretty
no
good.
way. In Canadian
Yeah,
prices?
yeah.
Or is it? Oh, shit. That's really good.
That is really good, right? So I'm thinking about going there. Now, my favorite concert I've ever been to is The Weeknd. I'm a huge Weeknd fan,
Oh,
so definitely going to see him a couple times, which I have in Atlanta and also Minneapolis. That was great. That was awesome. Such a great vibe. So yeah, he's one of my favorites. So third question:
yes.
favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Honestly, the first place that pops into my mind is Seattle. So I have a friend who lives
Mm,
there. And I went to go visit her 3 years ago now. And I went during the summer and I loved it. It's just like a
yeah.
good mix of like the city and like nature. And I think now that I'm 27, and I think now that like I am getting older, I guess, I've just been really gravitating towards nature. And I've been really thinking about moving to Vancouver lately. So, yeah,
Wow, look at
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I like
So,
that. I like it.
yeah, yeah. So,
Um, I would say my favorite place is definitely, I mean, as far as US goes, New Orleans.
oh,
Um,
I really good. I really want to go to New Orleans. Yeah.
yeah, and I want to go to Seattle. Listen, so I need some good recs for you. I've never been to Seattle before, and I'll definitely give you some new recs
I
about
got
New
you.
Orleans. For sure. And I got you for New Orleans because I was there for the
Perfect.
Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl was there and it was a great time. So yes. And if you're a person that likes good food and
Yes.
good times with people, New Orleans is the spot to go. No question, because they got that.
Amazing.
Okay, okay, I like that. We vibing right now. Now, next question. So it's a two-part question. It's
Okay.
about sports. Okay, so
Okay.
favorite sport you like to watch on TV. Favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
Ooh, I want to say for me, it's hockey for both.
Okay.
Especially having experience of like actually uh photographing it and like video and taking videos of it. It's really, really fun. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It's just like so fast paced. I mean, in some ways, I guess, actually, no, I take that back. But it's just, yeah, honestly, it's just so fast paced. It's so fun. It gets super
Mhm.
rowdy. Um, and especially with like, I've been to a lot of the Toronto Scepters game. And so just seeing kind of
Yeah.
the energy from the crowd too, especially because like, especially at those games, like most of the time, it's like sold out. So just seeing that energy too is super great. So definitely, definitely hockey for both.
I love it. And for those of you that will watch this, the Toronto Scepters are the women's hockey
Yes.
team that's out there in Toronto. I know that
Yes.
because I covered the Minnesota Frost when I was out in Minnesota, which is a
Amazing.
part of the same league, Professional Women Hockey League, PWHL. But also Toronto has Canada really has a lot of different hockey teams, but Toronto has the Maple Leafs as far as hockey goes. AHL, which is something that you said you covered. The All Star game was in Illinois this year, for
Yes.
sure. So I definitely know about that because I covered the Rochester Amherst in the same league. So yeah.
Amazing.
So yes, I'm very, very familiar with the Toronto teams, the Laval, and all those teams out there in Canada for sure, no question. Because Toronto knocked this out of the playoffs, so I'm definitely, definitely familiar with the Toronto team for sure, no question. So that's awesome. I love that. Um, Last of the
Okay.
favorites, and I'm a huge foodie. I told you I like going to Toronto. It's one of my favorite places, but I've only been there two times. I would love to know what is your favorite place to eat out at there in Toronto?
Oh, okay. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's one of those places where it's kind of like a hole in a wall. You don't really, it's not one of those big chains or anything like that, but they just sell really good momos. They're like little, like kind of like little dumplings. And I think maybe they're called I think the place is called Momo's, but it's just so good. I went there with a friend for the first time and it was just it was really, really good. Like one of the food places I still think about to this day.
Okay,
Um and it's a little, like I said, little one of those like hole in the wall places that you don't really know that it's there. And
absolutely.
I feel like Toronto just has a bunch of those. And honestly, one of my goals is to actually, especially during the summer, find more of those kind of little places that people don't necessarily know. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
listen, there's no question I'll be back out there. And if you're out there, I definitely got to link up with you and we got to go get some momos or get some type of good food. I would love that.
absolutely.
I'm totally down with that. So I really am. That's what's up. I love that. It's great favorites. Now, I want to talk to you about your day to day.
Yes.
As what you do as an intern now, and but also just as a sports creative, like when you get a sports photography assignment, right? And what is your mindset going into the actual game of covering it? How many photos are you trying to take a game? How many game action photos are you trying to take? How many regular photos are you trying to take? How fast do you upload these photos? Do you use Adobe Auction or Adobe to be able to edit the photos, right? And be able to do that because once you take photos, get them on the computer, sometimes you edit them for black and white or color purposes or stuff like that, which I only know about because I've been doing the reporting thing and I had to take my own photos. So tell me what your process is when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So well, first I think it just depends on, oh, is this Oh, okay, I think we're good. Sorry, it's the little notification said trying to reconnect, so I wasn't sure. Anyways, so it really depends. So Hayes Media, they're a sports kind of outlet. So not they do sports as well. They do kind of concerts and fashion as well, but they have a sports section. So they're an outlet that I work for. They're based in Texas. Um,
Wow.
so their process would be a little bit different compared to the Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball Club, where I actually have, or even with the Chargers, the Mississauga Chargers, just because I am more on the actual team staff versus kind of an outside outlet. So I think those two are very different experiences. So when I'm working with Hayes and I get accepted for media accreditation, it's still a very, very cool experience. But one of the things is that you are kind of limited to where you are able to go. So, depending on the game, depending on the team, depending on the arena, like for example, for a lot of the like Toronto FC, CPL games, on a soccer field, you see those boards. Usually, you're only allowed to be at the end to end boards. Sometimes
Mm,
some teams,
okay.
some fields will let you move around. Um, during the game, most of the times they tell you to stay in that one spot. And then during the second half, if you want to switch to the other side or stay on the same side, you can do that. So, with that being said, no, gear is not necessarily. It's hard because, like, yes, especially in that situation, gear can be very, very helpful, especially if you want to have kind of like a bigger zoom. I
Right.
have been sticking, honestly, as someone who is still in the beginning stages of my journey, because I want to say as a whole, I'm a little over a year and a half in.
Okay.
I use my 7200. That's kind of the main lens that I use, and then I have my 16 millimeter. That's like kind of the first wide lens that I've ever bought for myself. So those are
Right.
the only two lenses that I actually really use. Occasionally, I will go and rent a lens if I really, really need something. But for the most part, those are the two lenses that I use. And so, especially with soccer, hockey, the 7200 has been totally fine. But
Right.
because you are kind of stuck in that place where you are a little bit limited in what you can shoot, what you can get. But for the most part, I do try and get portraits of the athletes if they come close to me. Of course, the action. I get a lot of the fans, the atmosphere, the emotion. When I take photos, I gravitate more towards the emotion. So like the facials, yes, the celebrations, but also kind of what the other team is feeling if they are the ones that lost the game.
Right.
So I am much more kind of the emotional side of things. I do love taking kind of good portraits, especially when they're on the field. So that's kind of one different, I think, thing, a different process. And especially with an outlet, I think it depends on kind of what outlet you work for. I know some photographers have to send 10 photos right after the game, and
Yeah,
then they send
absolutely.
the rest the day after. With Hayes, I get 24 to 48 hours. So I don't
Okay.
necessarily need to kind of rush, which is kind of great. So I get home, edit them, send them over. Um, versus when I'm working kind of with more of the team aspect, when I'm actually on staff, you do kind of get more the flexibility to kind of be wherever you want, which has been
Absolutely.
great, and kind of makes it so much more fun. So with kind of like the Chargers and the Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball Club, after the game, I edit right away so that we can post either right after the game or we can post the very next day. So the process is a little bit different. I do edit during the game if we want to kind of have posts during the games. If not, I usually just kind of edit everything right after the game just so that we can
Okay.
have it all ready to post tomorrow morning.
For sure.
Because especially with the Mississauga Chargers, because they are still a very high level team, but not because they're not like a professional team. Um, there's three of us that we do everything. So we do the socials, we do the photography, we do the video.
Right.
And I think there's also, especially because it's not necessarily professional, they're not a professional team. It's kind of nice. It's been a good learning experience for me in that sense of like, okay, I have to shoot, I have to kind of edit quickly and still kind of get that like, okay, practice of, editing on the fly. Um,
Yeah.
and then being able to kind of get that done either the night of or right for the next day. And that has really helped when I've done more of kind of the larger scale projects, and assignments that I've been able to do and have been lucky enough to been asked to do with someone or with the team. So, um, yeah. But the process in terms of that, I just use Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. So everything I do, I've been trying to also use and learn Photoshop as well.
Okay.
Slowly. Definitely process, but slowly but surely. But mostly
No, I
Lightroom.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I really do. That's amazing, and it's great to hear that process because different photographers do different things. Like you said, some photographers got to send their photos in quickly. Some photographers get time. But it's a
Yeah.
great segue that bleeds into this next question, and that's about work-life balance and also mental health. Now, I've been a reporter, like I said, for the past 9 years. I have seen people leave this industry because of their mental health being affected. I've seen people leave this industry because the work life balance just has not been balanced. In my opinion, I don't think you'll ever have 100% balance in this industry because balance looks different for everybody. People can handle different things, some people can't. So I want you to tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work life balance? Because you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you. I think your friends and family feel the same way.
Thank you.
But you're very welcome. But you also seem very passionate about what you do and who you are. So, how do you have that work life balance without being overwhelmed or burnt out?
It's funny that you say that. If I'm gonna be quite honest,
Hmm.
this past year, I will say I had no work-life balance. Especially, I think for me, I made my career change at 25, which isn't saying that like I'm old. I'm not necessarily saying that at all, but I think
Mm-mm.
if I was 21, 22, I think it'd be a very different type of like, oh, I can like take, a little bit more time to kind of
Right.
figure things out. But I think because I made my career change at 25 with basically zero creative experience, important creative experience that's actually applicable to what I wanted to do,
Right.
zero sports industry experience. When I made my career change, I had not even any volunteer experience. Like all my experiences that I did in school, that I did for my internships, was nothing related to sports other than me being a college athlete. That was really the only thing that I had.
For sure.
Um, And it's not like I studied sports management, I didn't study sports business, I didn't have any of that background. So for me, I did kind of, when I kind of went all into kind of making my career change, I kind of did have that kind of like overwhelming state of like, I kind of have to do everything. I kind of have to get everything in. And when I kind of made my career change, I told myself for 2025, I'm going to do everything that I can to build as much experience as I can.
Right.
And so for me, because I was, I was doing as much as I can, I was also working part-time. Um, because I at the time, especially when you're starting to build your portfolio and asking for experience, you don't get paid for any of the stuff that you do. At least that was from my experience and from when
Hmm.
I've spoken to other creatives, as I've met other creatives in the industry, they've
Hmm.
had very similar experiences. And so,
For
especially
sure.
as someone entering the industry, trying to build a portfolio, trying to get experience. I wasn't getting paid for any of that. I was volunteering for a lot of the stuff that I was doing. As someone who's 25, I still had to make money. And so if I was not photographing, if I was not editing, I was working. So, if I had like, if I had an assignment for Hayes Media, the game was at 7:30. I would honestly edit until I was done. Maybe that was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then I would go to
Yes.
work 10 to
Wow.
5 at my part-time job. And that was and I also had school at the time too. And
Wow.
so yeah. So it's hard to say that I genuinely just didn't have a work-life balance last year. And I personally didn't feel it though. Like I was so excited that I actually found something that I was really passionate about. I was just so excited that like I found a career that I knew I wanted to do. Because I think
Yeah.
especially now, there's also this pressure of being like an entrepreneur, of, not working a 9 to 5. But I think especially, you just come to understand that like you do have to, like you have to work. You're gonna work for the rest of your lives. And I
Hmm.
think, you know, I just wanted to find something that I can wanted to, wake up to going. And,
Right.
the full-time job that I had previously, it wasn't a bad job.
Mm.
I love it taught me a lot in the sense of like what I wanted and what I didn't want,
For
but it
sure.
wasn't a job that like I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited for." And
Right.
that's what I wanted to find. And when I finally found that at
Hmm.
25, I was like, I need to take advantage of this and I need to just kind of go all in. And so, which was why last year I just didn't have any work-life balance. I will say this year, um, my mentality was a little bit different going into this year of like
Okay.
I last year was more about like go 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 build build
For
build build
sure.
reps, just repetition. This
Yeah.
year was more all about like being a little bit, now that I have kind of the basic foundation, the basic skills, I was like, okay, let me just be a little bit more intentional this year. So
Absolutely.
kind of choose experiences now that will kind of benefit me. Not that the previous experience didn't benefit me, but more so kind of choose experiences, choose projects that like more so that I guess I want to do more of. Um, and that are perhaps maybe a little bit more beneficial on my end.
For sure.
Um, and just do less, but try make the quality better. So that's kind of been what my goal is this year, more so refining my skills now that I've kind of built my basic foundation last year.
Right.
It is I will say it is definitely still it's very hard to do that because especially as a creative, you follow a lot of really good other creatives and you kind of feel that like pressure of, they're doing this, they're doing that, their work is so good, but
Yeah.
mine isn't
To
as good
envy him.
yet. Yeah, there's
Hmm.
always that, that comparison, right?
For sure.
But
For sure.
especially now, um, into it, yeah, like I said, just being intentional this year and just trying to build more of my skills and um that's kind of been the goal this year. So I want to say that I've had a little bit better work-life balance. I don't know if it really has quite improved, but but I am really trying to, especially now that I have built this foundation. But, I think, and I'm sure you feel this way too, as a creative, you're just always wanting to learn and always wanting to grow. And so
Without
it
question.
never really stops.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. It's a fair question to ask because a lot of people do struggle with the
Yeah.
work-life balance. But
Yeah.
again, balance looks different to everybody. There's some people that can handle quite a bit. What you were doing, you could handle that. To you, that was just like routine. And I don't know about your mindset, but my mindset is if I got to do something in order to get an accomplishment done or to learn about something, I'm just gonna go about and do it. I'm not going to
Yep.
complain about what the hours is or how long it's going to
Exactly.
take or how it's going to be. I'm just going to get it done.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I love that you have that same kind of mindset because I remember going to school working 84 hours every 2 weeks. I was overnight working 9 to 9, but also taking classes, also covering high school football games because I wanted to pivot out of my full time job into a job where I could be full time going for my degree. So I love that type of mentality. But again, so it bleeds into another question that's a great segue, and that is advice. What is some advice would you give someone that is coming in as a college student or a freshman or somebody that is in college right now that wants to pursue journalism as a career or wants to pursue sports as a creative? Like, what kind of advice would you give that girl or that boy or that individual?
For me, I would say, I guess two things.
Okay.
One, just always reach out. Honestly, email that team, email that creative, because you just don't know the opportunities that you'll get. Half the opportunities when I first started off as
Yeah.
someone with zero experience, I
Right.
was able to get that experience because I emailed, I reached out. Obviously, you don't want to be like, hey, give me a job. You have to still phrase kind of that email in a
Right.
way that still you're
Right.
providing them value too, right? So,
For sure.
um, I would say that's my number one tip, especially as someone in if they are in a very similar shoes as me, what if they have zero experience, they want to get experience, just reach out. You really don't know. Like they'll say yes and you get that experience, or the worst thing they say is no, or they don't follow up, and that's okay. You just move on to the next team, move on
That's
to the
it.
next person.
That's it.
So that would be my biggest tip. I would say the second tip, um, what was I gonna say? I totally lost it. The second tip that oh no, I totally
That
lost it.
it's gonna come back to you. Don't even worry about it. It's gonna come back to you. But I like your first tip though,
That's the
because
yeah, that would be
yeah,
my main tip though.
your first tip is good because a
Yeah.
lot of kids get discouraged
Yes.
a lot of the times when reaching out and they don't hear a follow back or they try to find some information, they'll just give up. You always have to reach out and network
Yep.
and understand that everybody that you reach out to is not going to be a yes, I want to talk to you,
Exactly.
and it's
Yep.
okay. That's okay.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with you. It's not personal. It's just business.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I definitely like the reaching out part. But yeah, that to me, um, it's again a question worth asking and advice worth giving out, worth
Yeah.
giving. I should say. Did
Yeah.
you think about your second point you wanted to make?
I think honestly, I honestly don't even remember my second point, but I will say this though. I will say that this honestly might sound super cliche,
Okay.
but if you are passionate about it and you work hard, the opportunities will come. I will say that. I
Oh, okay.
genuinely like this past year, like you have to put in the work, right? You have to continuously reach out to people, continuously network, continue to build those reps.
No question.
Once you kind of do all that, I would say that's when the opportunities slowly come in. That's when people start reaching out to you. And that's what I've been slowly now experiencing. Not saying that my work here is done. I definitely will still be grinding, doing as much as I can, but just seeing those results, seeing the opportunities come to me is now motivating me to keep going. And you need
Hmm.
to keep going. So when you feel like, it's hard, it's tough, as cliche as it sounds, you can't give up. You have to keep going. You have to keep building those reps in. So that would be kind of like the second biggest tip. So,
I like that. I do. Absolutely. And listen, like you said, you have to keep building those reps in. You have to keep
yeah,
going. One yes could change it, but you don't want to just rely on one yes.
exactly.
You want to keep having that chip on your shoulder and prove
Exactly.
to your employers or approve the people, I should say, why they made the selection, why they chose you over the
Yeah.
next person, because you have to stand
100%.
out. I
Yeah.
do like that. I like that very much. Now, so we have reached the portion of the podcast where we're going to play my interactive game called This or
Okay.
That. It is a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is very simple. I'm going to throw two things at you. You get
Okay.
to choose this or that. So are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather go in and sit down to eat at?
Okay.
Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Texas.
I love it. You like the cinnamon rolls, don't you? I knew it, girl. I knew it. I knew it, girl. You on
I'm a
point like a
sweet
period.
tooth. I'm a
I
sweet
mean,
tooth.
me too. Me too. I'm with you on that. Okay, here we go. Out of these two flavors, which
Okay.
flavor would you rather put on the chicken wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Barbecue.
Okay. Do you
I'm
like
more of a
your
spicy
wings?
girl.
Oh, okay, I got you. Do you
I
like your
don't like the
wings?
dry spice.
Oh, you don't like the dry? Okay. Do you like
Yeah.
your wings wet or dry?
Wet.
Okay, okay. I listen. That was a layup. I listen. That was a layup of a question. I love that. Now, do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Boneless.
So you like a boneless wet wing. Do you eat it with a fork?
Yeah. I do eat it with a fork. I don't like getting my hands sticky.
Wow. Wow. So that is definitely the most. You are the neatest wing eater I've ever met in my life. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. I love that. I love that though. Listen, don't you ever change, okay? Don't you ever change. That's awesome. Um, these next four questions
Yeah.
have to do with music concerts you rather attend. Okay,
Okay.
so here we go. First music concert. Which music concert would you rather go see? Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, next one. Which music concert would you rather go see? Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Drake. Toronto.
Mm, Drizzy. Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, girl. That was a setup question right there. I feel that. Okay. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Taylor Swift or would you rather go see Alex Warren?
Oh no. I'm still gonna say Alex Warren. I am a Swiftie, but I just love his songs. I
He
just
he he has a song called Bloodline that's really good. I like that song.
it
Yes,
is.
very good, very good. Okay, last of the music. Which
Okay.
music concert would you rather go see? Chris Brown or Usher?
Usher.
Ooh, okay. Are you going to the tour of them together? You know they're coming out with a tour, right?
I actually didn't know that. The only reason why I said Usher, because Usher was like one of my first concerts that I went to. My very first
Wow.
concert.
Yes, they're coming out with a tour called the R&B tour, which is called the Raymond and Brown tour. So
Oh, no
they're coming
way.
out together and they're going to be co-headlining the tour together.
That's actually really cool. I did not
Yes,
know that.
and they got
Oh,
a couple dates out there in Toronto, so you might want to check it out. Who knows?
maybe I will. Maybe I will check it out.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I like that. Now let's go back to sports. Which sport of these two would you rather watch on TV? Basketball or baseball?
Basketball.
Okay. Which of these two sports would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Badminton. I suck at bowling.
Are you very good at badminton?
I played in my middle school teams.
Oh wow. Ah. that's
I don't know if I
that's
have the skills now. This is like a
I'm I-
long time
I'm
ago.
I'm I'm saying so that's almost half your life we're talking about. You said middle school. Okay. Well, that's all right. Maybe we'll test the waters when I come out there one time and hit the birdie around a little bit. Maybe we will.
Exactly.
Who
Exactly.
knows? Okay. Do you like desserts?
No questions
Okay.
asked.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to name four categories of desserts.
Okay.
You have to choose one of these categories that you have to get rid of that you would never eat again.
Okay.
So here we go. The first category is ice cream. The second category is grouped together. So it's cake/pies.
Okay.
The third one is cookies. And the last one is candy. Which one are you getting rid of?
Candy.
I would say you on point like a period. That's what I would say. Yes, indeed. You are on point like a period. Now I'm going to ask you, so what is your favorite ice cream?
Okay. I don't know if this is like a flavor that's like not necessarily liked, but I do like mint chocolate chip.
A lot of people on this platform have picked mint chocolate chip as their favorite ice cream. A lot of people
Really?
have. Yeah, a lot of people have, to be honest with you. And I'll go full disclaimer and say I've never tried mint chocolate chip ice cream in my life.
I feel like now you have to.
I
I
I,
feel
I
like
do.
you
And
know.
I've been on this earth for about 3+ decades. At least 3+ decades I've been on this earth. And I've never tried mint chocolate chip ice cream, unfortunately. So matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna try it until I'm around you. How about that?
Deal. Deal.
Okay.
I'll take you to a very good ice cream place in Toronto.
I appreciate it because I'm a person that likes cookies and cream and chocolate chip cookie dough, and I am very stubborn. I like my two flavors, but if I had a friend in me that would take me to the ice cream shop and give me a mint chocolate chip, that would be great. That'd be amazing. So I would
I
love
got
that.
I got
Okay, I
you.
appreciate it. Now, do you like potato chips?
I do like potato chips.
Okay, so this is the same format. What
Okay.
we're going to do is name four brands
Okay.
of potato chips. You have to get rid of one of these brands that you would never eat again. So the first brand is going to be Doritos. The second brand is going to be Lay's. The third brand is going to be Ruffles. The last brand is going to be Pringles. Which brand are you getting rid of?
Pringles. I don't eat it that often.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, if we, as in you and I, were walking into a grocery store and I say, so go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip to eat, what are you buying?
Ooh. The first thing that comes to mind would be the sweet chili heat Doritos.
Mmm, girl, and I would say you put a smile on my face. That's what I would say. Because those are good. Those are very, very good. I'm with you on that. You talking about the purple bag. That's what you talking about. So yes, right?
Either purple or black. Either one of those.
Okay, I got you. Black bag's pretty good too, though. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong. So I'm with you on that. Okay, I like that. You did very good on the this or that. You was very decisive. Now, This next question is called bucket list because I want you to speak it
Ooh.
into existence.
Oh, I
Give
love that.
me four stories. Thank you so much. Give me four stories or events that you would like to do in your sports creative career that you haven't done yet.
Oh, the first one, definitely the next FIFA. Fortunately, I
Okay.
didn't get in this one, which is okay. Still manifesting. So the next FIFA, this is really out there, but definitely Olympics. I would love to just like, would love to be there. That would be really
Yeah.
sick.
In Los Angeles next year, so I love it.
Um, I do want to say for this one, hopefully it is maybe like next year, but definitely an NHL game. I haven't had the chance to do that yet, so I'd love to do an
Okay.
NHL game.
Yeah,
Don't know like a
absolutely.
specific team. I mean maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs, who knows? But
Hmm.
um, just because now I've been loving hockey, I've been, you know, kind of want to continue kind of down that, get up the level,
For
Um,
sure. For sure.
and then the next one,
What's that last
ooh,
one, girl?
I think that last one I want to. This is not necessarily an event, but I think I'm just gonna put it out there. My dream job, hopefully, maybe the next couple years, I do want to be either a photographer, videographer, creative. I want to work for an NWSL team, specifically the Chicago Stars. I
Okay.
grew up loving the Chicago Stars, so I will put
I
that
love
out
it.
there.
I love it. I love that. And that's amazing. I hope that does come to fruition for you for sure. And I'm definitely going to take a look at the Toronto Stars schedule and see what games I could possibly come out there for sure. Now, we talked about advice you would give someone, but now I want to ask you, what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Ooh.
This making you think. I like that.
This is making me think. I will say when I first started off, this I don't think this advice was necessarily mind blowing, but I think it was something that was really good for me to know.
Hmm.
Um, but when I was kind of first getting into photography and like slowly learning videography, I was mainly doing sports and just sports.
Right.
Um, and the creator that I was talking to, he was like, you should try and photograph other things, other events outside of sports, because it will
Yeah,
really help you grow kind of your creative eye, but also just kind of, you're just in different environments, you learn a little differently.
you do.
Um, and it's just good to add to the portfolio too. It wasn't necessarily mind blowing in that sense, but it was honestly really good to know. It's kind of like expanding your skills a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
So, and then it's something I definitely kind of took into as well this year. I've done a couple of engagements actually. So, and I'm actually doing
What?
one
Okay.
next week. So, um, and I've been doing my own kind of creative projects. That's also been something I've been implementing this year. I did my
Right.
first studio shoot. So more like personal projects like that where I kind of want to use my creativity in a different way. Um, so
I love it. I love it. No, that's pretty dope. Now, give me now you gave me some times where you've done some photos as far as taking for the fans, the athletes. Give me a time frame as far as give me a time where you were taking photos and it just didn't turn out that good. How did you bounce back from that experience to kind of shake that off and continue moving forward?
I mean, I think I think for me as someone who because I grew up as an athlete, I think I've always learned to kind of really just take feedback and not take it personally, but more so just take it in,
Mhm.
you know, reflect on it, see what I can do, and kind of really implement that and just move on.
I
And
love it.
I've really kind of taken that into my creative journey. And so, especially on the days where maybe photos didn't honestly turn out that well,
Mm,
honestly, that's okay. You kind of move on to the next project. You want to obviously kind of reflect on the experience, be like, hey, did I do something differently today? Maybe I
absolutely.
tried, a new setting. I don't know, you switched things up a little bit. Maybe you just weren't in the right location, whatever it is. Like, if you think the photos didn't turn out the way that you wanted to, definitely reflect on the experience. Just don't take it personally, especially in a creative industry where, you know, I think in a creative industry, just work itself, there's no one standard, right? So you just want to kind of take it in, learn from it, and just move on to the next project. Sometimes it is really hard to do, but that's kind of the beauty of being a creative, though, right? Like you're never really necessarily stuck in one place. You just kind of
Nope.
you keep growing the more you do. So I guess that would be kind of my advice, or I guess my thought on that.
No, no, no. That's all right. I like that. I like that thought. I want to do some rapid fire with you. So before I
Okay.
let you get on up out of here, and rapid fire is a little different from this or that.
Okay.
Rapid fire is about the first thing that comes to your mind. You shout it out with glee. Okay, so here we go. All
Okay.
right, pancakes or waffles.
Pancakes.
Okay, chicken or ribs.
Chicken. Actually, no.
Fa-
Oh, can I take that back? Ribs.
I love it. I love it. Favorite color.
Blue.
Oh, that's my favorite color too, girl. I love
Oh,
that.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, look at us. Favorite Netflix TV show or television series on TV?
Right now I'm watching From, and it's really good.
Okay, okay. Juice or soda?
Soda, but only like diet soda.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a diet and a zero sugar type of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only two I am. Okay. Favorite card game. Oh, excuse me.
Uno.
I'm a monster when I get them draw fours, girl. When I hit you with the draw fours, it can get competitive now. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, favorite board game.
Oh, Candyland.
That's a very good game. Very good game.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite alcoholic drink.
Can I put an A? I'm
Okay,
not really much of a drinker, so I don't really have anything that like pops up.
I like that. Now I'm gonna say this: favorite non-alcoholic drink.
Sparkling water. I
Oh,
really like sparkling water.
are you talking about
Especially,
like Seagrams like that?
I've been really liking I think they're more of a Canadian brand, but they're called
Okay,
Cove. But I mean they're like a I guess they're not sparkling water. They're like a prebiotic soda.
okay,
Kind of
got you.
similar to Olipop's.
Oh, okay. I do know about that. Yes. Okay, got you. Got you. If you had a
So,
choice to choose three people, so with you to go on vacation, so it's three plus one equaling four. Who are those three people that you would choose and where would you go? Now, before you choose, you can choose family, friends, or celebrity, or a combination of all three.
okay, okay. Well, the first one that pops up is my partner.
Okay.
Um, Second, um, Zendaya. I just love her. That'll be my
Okay.
celebrity.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll bring one of my childhood friends. Those would be my three people.
Okay. And where would you go?
Banff.
Who?
Banff in Alberta.
Oh, oh, okay. You gonna have to you gonna have to Wikipedia that for me
I
because I don't know. I'm like, did you just say bath? Like you want to take a bath? Like what? Bam.
Banff. It's in Alberta. It's beautiful. It's if you love, it's basically all nature. Like but it's like gorgeous though. Like mountains, like
Ah.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. I'm gonna let from your lips to my ears. I'm listening. So no question about that. Okay. I like that. Uh, if you had a choice to choose between three songs or three artists to listen to on repeat and never get tired of, who would those three artists or three songs be?
Ooh. Okay, Alex Warren one, Benson
Yeah.
Boone second.
Okay.
Third one, I've been really liking Sabrina Carpenter. So I'll go with those three.
Yeah, she has a song recently came out called Man Child that's really good. And obviously, please, please, please. But I like the Dolly Parton remix version of that as well. Yeah, so really good. She's talented, no question about that. Provocative, but she's talented, no question about that. For sure. Um, let me ask this: what is a sport outside of soccer and track that you would play that you would dominate in,
Uh, huh.
that you would be really good in?
I I've been told because of my size, because quite small, but I'm strong. So I've been told that I would have been a very good gymnast growing up.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so now I gotta ask the opposite of that. What is the sport that you would play that you would absolutely suck in?
Basketball.
Why would you suck in basketball?
I mean, well, one, I'm tiny. I'm like 5 feet, so there's that.
Oh,
Also, I can't shoot for life. Like I've played a couple times and I like can't actually get it in the net like at all.
okay.
So I
So
maybe I'm just not like yeah.
so listen, I can help you out with that. Now, I'm not the tallest thing around. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 6 feet, but I'm 6 feet. That's for sure. And you're probably saying, "Well, geez, you're not that tall. You're a foot taller than me." I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but I'm talking
I
about
was
for
gonna
like
say.
I'm talking about like man size though. There's a lot of other guys that might be much taller than myself for sure. But yes, like my mother's 5 feet, so I get on her all the time because she's a shorty. I call her shorty sometimes for sure. Um, but I can teach you how to shoot the ball. I can teach you how to shoot the ball if you let me. If you let me teach you, I can teach you how to do that. Again, I'm a sports reporter,
Perfect.
so you're
Done.
messing with a sports reporter here. So I know about sports. I know how to play the majority of sports except cricket. Cricket, I don't know. I don't know nothing about no damn cricket. I ain't gonna lie to you. Can't do can't do cricket.
Okay, fair enough though.
Yeah, yeah, right. For sure. Now I want to ask you this next one. If you had a choice
Okay.
to choose a job as far as in sports, if you wanted to choose a job for as far in sports and be that for one day, what will it be and why?
Like any job?
Any job,
Any job in sports?
any job in sports, to be it one day and why?
I would say like some sort of like sports reporter. Um, I'm not very extroverted enough to be able to like speak in front of like the camera itself, so I think just having the experience of that for a day would be kind of cool.
What? You are not extroverted enough. You seem like a wonderful person to type of
I'm
conversation with.
not sure I
Wow.
appreciate that. I feel like it's just more, it's a little nerve-wracking being in front of the camera, talking in front of the camera, where I'm like,
For sure.
ooh.
For sure. I like that. I like that you want to face your fears though. That's the way I see it. You want to face that fear and conquer that fear. And I really, really love that. So that's amazing to do. Um, if they came to you and they said, so you are an amazing creative mind and we want you to work in a sport, but you cannot work in the sport of soccer. Out of these three sports, which sport would you choose to work in if they gave it to you? Basketball, baseball, or football?
Baseball.
I like it. I
I
like it.
really, I, yeah, I surprisingly, I really love taking photos of baseball. Surprisingly.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
love
Oh,
covering it. So,
so my last question for rapid fire is this, and this is so if you had a chance to be on that said baseball team to take photos for that, Nate, give me 5 players that you would want to take a baseball photo of. 5 players
um,
that you would want to take a baseball photo of.
I know faces of baseball players. I can tell you five soccer players. But no, I don't really know a lot of baseball players, unfortunately.
Okay, well, let's switch it up.
I
How
just,
about this?
I, to be fair, I'm still, okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I'll
Well,
look it up
let's do
today.
this.
Let's see.
Let's do 5 soccer players, but you have to include men and women, both.
Oh, easy. Easy. Okay. First one obviously has to be Messi. Second, Son from LA. Love him. Um, Third would be Christine St. Clair. I've grown up idolizing her.
Okay.
Fourth one is going to be Alex Morgan. I've also grown up like idolizing her as a player.
Yeah, she's my
And
crush.
then
Go ahead.
love it. Period.
She is. She is my crush for sure. She's amazing. She's so beautiful.
Period.
Yes.
No, she is.
Yes.
And then the last one would also be a female athlete, female women's player, but it would be why am I forgetting her name? It would be she played on the Chicago Stars before she just gave birth to a
Oh,
daughter.
is she Mallory
Around her
Swanson?
too. Oh yeah, Mallory Swanson. Yes, yes, yes.
I got you. Yeah, because you know she's with Dansby Swanson, so she used to be
Yes,
Pew. She used to be Pew.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's lovely as well. No question about that. So that will be your 5 players. I love that. That's amazing. And uh, this has been a really dope and fun and engaging conversation. Just to hear about your why from being in Maine, but also being in Toronto, going to Bates College, finding your home, but also pivoting, not sticking with what was the first choice, but able to pivot and now find a new passion and seek that with all of your might. I love that. And I love the work that you've done with the teams. I love how the many connections you've already built. It's only going to get better because you're only going to get more and more comfortable within this industry. And the more comfortable you get, the better. And then also people are going to start to get comfortable with you because they see your work. Once they see your work, you're going to hear a lot more yeses. So I am a new fan of yours. I cannot wait to see you in person and meet you in person and say hello to you in person because I think you're amazing. And I thank you for bearing with me this late night here on the podcast. My final question to you is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, photography, sports, or anything at all before we conclude?
No, I don't think so. I think just for the most part, I think just, keep going at it, keep going, keep working hard, keep growing, keep learning. I think that's kind of the last thing.
I love that, so I really do. And I want you to enjoy your Wednesday evening. You and I will most certainly be in touch. And again, thank you for coming on the podcast. You take care. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.